Hello everyone, this is the God of 0,000, and I've got something to say. This is my final review episode for Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, we have. That's why I've got something to say about the history of Dragon Ball Z. Now, through all my videos, I've been alluding to things like what Majin Buu represents, or Super Saiyan being ruined. Well, I'm going to take the time to explain what all that means. To do that, I have to give you a little history lesson on how Dragon Ball Z came to be. When Toriyama wrote his first couple of chapters of Dragon Ball, he had no idea what a huge hit it was going to be. Originally, the story was based off a Japanese fable called Sayuki. However, Dragon Ball quickly evolved into its own world. But as I said, Dragon Ball's plot could only go so far. Eventually, a very happy, very wealthy Toriyama decided it was time for Goku to retire. However, when the producers caught wind of this, they went to Toriyama and asked him to continue. They were making money off of it, and Toriyama had a lot of fun making it, so they asked him to make a sequel to it. Toriyama was, in fact, having a lot of fun with Dragon Ball. With a smile on his face, Toriyama agreed. However, by the time Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan reached outer space on their way to Namek, Toriyama found himself growing bored with the story. So he decided to kill Kakarot in the end. Let's quickly examine what the story would have been if the story ended there. Frieza and his entire army would have been dead. The warrior of pure rage that was scarred by Frieza would have finally been able to be at peace, and the Saiyan race would have been avenged. Genius! However, the producers again interceded, committing perhaps the greatest act of fan service any producers have. Not that kind of fan service! The producers asked him to continue. Toriyama was hesitant at first, but agreed. From there on, the story takes off, becoming the legendary show it is today. However, again, Toriyama gets bored with it. At the end of the season, he has another great ending. This time it becomes a passing of the torch kind of a story. But once again, the producers tell Toriyama to continue. This time he is adamantly opposed. However, the producers threaten him with blackballing him from the manga community. Instead of watching his beloved Dragon Ball series die out slowly without a solid ending, he takes the opposite approach. He intentionally makes the series stupid by introducing characters like Majin Buu to kill the fanbase. However, we, and hear that, me too, we were so loyal we ignored the stupidity of it all. When Dragon Ball Z ended, the producers went to Toriyama demanding he make another sequel series, again coupled with the threat of blackball. For some reason, when Toriyama began Dragon Ball GT, he was strangely into it and made a very, very good first half of the first season. So he cut several episodes from the original run and started with the recap episode. Unfortunately, the producers found those episodes and released them as the lost episodes, expecting a big payday. Luckily, by that time, we were all tired of the Dragon Ball universe. We had finally woken up. What we know is Dragon Ball GT is actually so bad, many people think Toriyama had nothing to do with it. But since so many people are so loyal to Dragon Ball Z, they actually say they like things like Super Saiyan 3 and Majin Buu. I'm sure those of you who do are wondering why I consider everything after Cell so terrible. Well, since I think the pea-brained regenerating weaklings speak for themselves, I'm going to discuss Super Saiyan 3 and 4. Why do I hate Super Saiyan 3 and 4? For starters, they just look stupid. I'm sorry, that's not cool. But the real reason I hate anything above Super Saiyan 2 is because it belittles what being a Super Saiyan means. The original version of Super Saiyan, as it was, is supposed to be the warrior of pure rage, the ultimate form of the ultimate being. Super Saiyan 2 is pushing it, but I accept it because the only way to achieve it is by being in an incomprehensible level of emotional stress, similar to Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 3 and 4, however, just happen. There's no build-up to it. There's no reason to care. The one main complaint about Dragon Ball Z is that sometimes it takes a whole episode for characters to power up. Scenes like that come from almost exclusively post-Cell episodes and almost always involve something like Super Saiyan 3. And the most obnoxious thing to me is that if you look up Goku on Google, one of the suggestions that pops up on that little bar that comes down like 3 suggestions down, is Goku Super Saiyan 10,000. 10,000? 10,000 is not a level of Super Saiyan. 10,000 is a power level. After the end of Cell, it became more about what Super Saiyan level you could get to, not what power level you were. Remember when you actually had to work to get stronger? What people don't seem to understand is that Super Saiyan is not a set power level. It multiplies your power 50 times. Gohan doesn't stop turning into a Super Saiyan because he becomes stronger than a Super Saiyan. He doesn't turn into a Super Saiyan again because he gets a swelled head again. The reason people think the latter is because of things like Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan is supposed to mean something. It's not something that should just be had by any random Saiyan like Goten and Trunks, and after that the whole Majin Buu... I wish. And I know maybe like the 61 trolls out there who pretend to be true fans are going to pepper my comment section with comments about how I don't know what I'm talking about. When Toriyama was asked by an interview point blank about all the post-Cell stuff, he told the interviewer the story I just told you. So I look forward to your comments, so I can flame you. I know. I'm calm now. I'm calm. But despite all that, despite the corporate greed that destroyed Toriyama's vision of the Dragon Ball series, the whole series is a wonderful and meaningful show. If you haven't seen Dragon Ball Z, go out, buy it, watch it, or Vegeta will destroy your home planet. Whew, it's done. I finished it. Ha! Take that, Anime for Dummies guy. I can review all of DBZ. Yeah.